so I'm gonna begin with the weather first, right? Before I start talking about things to do in Charlotte. I used to live in Atlanta, right? And I stayed there for about 2.5 years. And I thought that, the weather would be different. They always talk about hot Atlanta and how Atlanta is, hot and humid and summers and all the rest of that stuff. And let me tell you something, the two summers that I spent, I actually spent 3, but the 2 summers that I spent, it rained like almost every day. It's crazy that they don't tell you that Atlanta, you get a lot of rain in the summertime, and it's a lot of trees everywhere, and it's a lot of hills. You're gonna burn up your gas going up and down hills, but it has a lot of hills and a lot of trees, and it rains almost every day in the summer. The winters, it's like I was really in shock. Like, in like January, February, it got down to -2 at night. Like, I'm really like taken back. I'm thinking like, wow, this is supposed to be hot Atlanta, but it wasn't. Really, it was cold. Charlotte's weather is not a lot more different than Atlanta, but it is different. Prior to me living here this second time, the first time I lived here for about 6 years, right? And I can tell you, out of 6 years, it snowed twice. Out of 6 years. The first time it snowed, it was like just little spots. And by the end of the day, it melted. The second time it snowed, it really was like a blizzard, right? Woke up the next morning, things were closed. Let me tell you something about the South. When it snows, for all you New Yorkers or Northerners, when it snows, it's grand closing. Everything closes. They take all types of precautions. They do not play down here. They shut it down. Everything, schools, jobs, work, all that. They shut it down, right? So here it is. It's morning and it's snowing, and snow is everywhere. I think it was about 3 feet, I think, right? Tell me this. By the end of the day, that had melted. Right? Now, I don't know when exactly I'm going to put this video out, but it is December the 30th. Don't you see what I have on? A t-shirt, because it is hot outside. Today is Monday, but yesterday, it was 70 degrees. This whole weekend we had 70 degree weather. This week coming up, we're gonna have it's the high 50s and the low 60s. So in Charlotte, you have this type of weather where it's strange. I'm not saying that it happens all the time, but in the winters we get 70 degree weather. We do. It just pops out of nowhere. And the weather is like crazy. I'm not lying. Like, you might have a day where you'll wake up, right? And it's hot. It's hot outside. And then by the end of the day, it's cold. Or you may have a weekend or a week like this. Like, the warm weather started like, I think, Thursday. And it's lasting all the way up until the new year. Like, the new year is supposed to be like 58, 60 or something like that. And it's good because, we have this, yearly celebration in Uptown Charlotte. I'm not going to be participating because I'm trying to make some money, but this annual, New Year's festival, and they shut everything down and they block off everything. And it's just an exciting, event, for the New Year's. I forgot what they drop. I think it's a ball, if I'm not mistaken. Pause. I went one year and it was exciting. Now, I had a ball, yo. It was nice for real. But yeah, it's gonna be warm for the New Year's. So you get this weather like it starts to get hot. This is what happens. I'm not lying. This is what exactly happens. So March, it's still cold. February, of course, is cold. We have 2 major months where it's cold. That's January and February. December's debatable. March is somewhat debatable. So you have March, and it goes like this. So you'll see the days get longer, right? So around March, the sun sets about 7:30, right? So you're knowing that, okay, it's about to start to get warm, outside. So then you'll have March, like close to the end of March, you'll have like 70, right? 70-degree weather, right? And then in April, it starts to go up. But then you may have your cold days, right? And you're like, well, why is it cold? But it'll be like a couple of days, and then it won't last. And then like close to the end of April, you're like, okay, it's time to break out the shorts. You know, it's like May. That's when it starts to get like warm, right? And then from May, I'm not lying, this is my word, from May all the way till the mid-October or close to the end of November, that's when it starts to cool down. So really, our weather, the weather that we get is like possibly 3 months of winter, possibly. And the rest is like warm. So for all you northerners, you're gonna love it. Cause it really doesn't get cold like that. I mean, you don't need no North Face jacket. And one of the videos I did, I told you I sold my North Face jacket. I didn't need it. You don't need to. I wear long johns, right? But I'm out and about like late at night. But if you're out, like, this is how Charlotte weather is. It basically peaks like around 12, right? So you get warm weather, but then it starts to, you know, of course, as the sun sets, it gets cooler. But most of the time, like on an average day, when it's not really cold, all you need is light jacket, if that. I was burning up, and I had this t-shirt on and a hoodie. I was burning up today. It was like, it wasn't even light. It was 70 degrees outside. Look, I got a t-shirt on. I know y'all saying, you know, well, you in a car and you're in your garage, but you've seen videos with me having long sleeve shirts on and jackets. So just because I'm in a car and I'm in a garage doesn't mean that, you know, if it's cold outside, it's gonna be cold in here. It's not gonna be as cold outside. As cold as it is outside in here, but it's still gonna be cold. So I don't have the car on. If I did, you know, carbon monoxide, I'll be dead by now. I don't have the car on. I don't have the heat on. I have this t-shirt on, and I'm burning up in this car. I'm ready to get finish this video because I'm getting hot. So the weather, if you like warm weather, you know, if you like, you know, long summers and you know, it being hot, man, you can't beat it. So now that we cleared that up, let's move on to the things to do in Charlotte. Now I'm going to talk about the things to do in Charlotte, and then some of the things that you may have to travel an hour or two or whatever to get to, but it's still accessible, right? All right, so you got the Harvey Gantt Center. That's a cultural center for African Americans. Is that, as well as a museum for African Americans. You have the CIAA tournament that goes from February the 25th to the 28th, I think. Or it's a week. It's a week-long thing, and it's in Uptown. And the CIAA tournament is the HBCU basketball teams, such as your Fayetteville State, North Carolina Central, if I'm not mistaken, St. Augustine's, etc. Livingstone College, etc. Right? It's a whole week of celebration. They have day parties. They have clubs on the weekend. I mean, it's just a nice event, you know, for you to go to. Doesn't make a difference whether you white or black. It's just it's nice, and it all takes place in Uptown. But then you have clubs that's outside of Uptown, that's in, you know, in the Charlotte area, that is also throwing, you know, parties and stuff like that for the CIAA tournament. You have the Greek Fest that's on. They have it on East Boulevard. That joint is crazy. I've passed through it. I've never actually been, but it's just crazy. Like, white people get dressed up as Greeks and they just be wilding out, drinking and all that stuff. Yo, it's just a sight to see, man. You have the New Year's Eve party, of course. You know, they block everything off, and you know, you just get to walk around the city, and it's nice. I've been there, like I said, I've been there like once, and I had a good time. You have the Taste of the Town, where they block off, if I'm not mistaken, South Tryon, that whole strip, and I think it's another street that they block off. And you know, they have these food trucks and everything, and people that are set up outside, and you go around and you taste different foods for free. They have the Jazz Festival that happens every summer. I forgot what month it is. I think it's July or August, and it's a free event. And you sit down on the lawn and you listen to jazz. It's kind of like the same thing with Atlanta at Piedmont Park, but it's a little bit more smaller than that, because they have a jazz festival as well, but it's a little bit more smaller than that. We have Topgolf that's located right off of Arrowwood Road. You have the South End. South End has all of the restaurants and different swanky bars and taverns and stuff like that. It's crazy because if you live outside of the city, all you have to do is just, drive to a train spot. Hop on a train and take the train all the way down to South End and party and do whatever you do. Get back on the train, go back down to the train stop that you parked your car at, get back in the car and drive home. Park Road, they also have different restaurants. And they have like this one strip. I forgot the specific name of the street, but they have this one strip where it has restaurants on both sides of the street, and they also have like this little. It's a park that's right in between the restaurants. And of course, in the summer you would do that. They have like volleyball. You can play volleyball in that area, and it's just swanky. You know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of millennials hang out in that area. You have South Park. South Park has their own little eateries and restaurants and stuff like that, like Maggiano's, a high-end Italian restaurant. You have Valentine. Valentine, has little different events and things that they do as well. You have Ray Splash Planet, which is an indoor pool where you could take the kids. It's a family thing. You could take the kids there. They got the big sliding boards and all of that stuff, and pools and stuff. You have the Discovery Place, which is for the kids. That's located in Uptown Charlotte. You have Whitewater Park, which is a big park, and you can canoe and all of that crazy stuff. They have like the man-made, I think, water wave and stuff like that. It's just crazy. It's real nice, but of course you would want to do that in the summertime, not in the winter. Of course it's going to be closed in the winter. If you're into NASCAR, they have the NASCAR Hall of Fame that's located in Uptown, as well as if you want to go, see, the speed race and all that stuff, that's located in, they actually have the stadium located in Concord. You have Freedom Park. Freedom Park is a nice park that you can take your family to. They host a lot of events in the summertime. You'll see a lot of people taking, professional pictures in that area because it's just a nice park. They have like a lake that you can walk around, and it's a laid back, real cool, swanky spot because it's like you could take your what do you call them things? Hammers? I forgot the name of them, but you know how you could tie them things up to the tree and just lay in them. Well, you'll see a lot of people do that. You see a lot of people cook out. You could cook out there for free. You got Great Wolf Lodge, which is a hotel, and they have the indoor pool, just like how they have the Ray Splash Planet, but that's located in Concord. But Concord is like minutes away from Charlotte. You might as well say it's Charlotte, but it's not. You have Lake Wylie. Lake Wylie is like, I live in Still Creek, so Lake Wylie is like probably 12 minutes away from me. It's located in South Carolina, but it's still, you might as well say it's Charlotte because it's like right there. That's a nice place where you can go to. It's a nice big lake. You have Lake Norman, which is close to Huntersville. That's like kind of like it sits above Uptown, and they made like a man-made kind of like beach, so they have sand and all that stuff, and they throw like I remember this one joint I was supposed to go to, but I never went to. It was like an all white affair where you had to wear all white and you had to pay. I think it was like, damn, for me it was free because the dude was like, yo, it's your birthday and or whatever. Make a long story short, it was free, but I still didn't go. I don't know what it was, but it was something, I just didn't go, right? But anyway, like they throw these little events on the boats and yachts and stuff like that they have out there, and it's a nice place to chill as well. of course, you have the Carolina Panthers if you want to go see a professional football game. The Charlotte Hornets if you want to go see a professional basketball game. Both of those stadiums are located in Uptown. They have the minor league baseball team. That stadium is located in Uptown as well. You have the Romare, if I'm pronouncing it right, Romare Beardian Park. That is like, it sits right in the middle, like the Carolina Panther Stadium is like on the left. The baseball stadium is on the right, and then the park is like in the middle. It's a nice park, man. I mean, it has like waterfalls coming out of the bricks, the stones, or whatever have you. A lot of people take pictures there. They host a lot of events there. I've been to, what event did I go, and it was a lot of people. Like, it was crazy. I forgot what event it was, but I have fun there. Everywhere I go, yo, I have fun, and most of the time I'll be by myself, and I still have fun. What else have I? Oh, wow! How would I forget about this? Carowinds. They have Carowinds. Carowinds is like, I pretty much, well, I'm not gonna say right behind it, but I'm like minutes away from Carowinds. I'm probably about 7 minutes. Carowinds is a smaller version of Great Adventures or King's Dominion or Busch Gardens. There's way more stuff that I can name, but for the most part, these are the things that I like doing, that I'm into. There's a lot of stuff to do. There's a lot of stuff. We're 3 hours away from Myrtle Beach. We're about 2 hours away from the mountains, Asheville Mountains, and I've heard that Asheville has their little swanky thing going on. Like, it's a real hippie, like, little small area, and they have events there too. I think we're an hour and a half away from Asheboro Zoo. That zoo, I've taken my children to that zoo probably like 4 or 5 times. We go every year. It's a nice big zoo. I mean, it is a nice, really, really big zoo. Seriously. The one in Atlanta, I went to the zoo in Atlanta, and it's like 5 Atlanta zoos into one. I mean, it's really big. Really, really, really big. But hopefully I named some things that, you may be interested in. Do your research and look these places up and these events, and you'll see, it's real, man. It's a lot of stuff to do in Charlotte, and this is the reason why I'm here for now. You definitely won't be bored here. Straight up.